Y'all, I had watched a sermon yesterday. It was so good that I had to watch it again. It was by Keon. And this is what I got from it because I was actually on my way to my school to register for classes, right? This process for my schooling has been such a very long process. Honestly, I was actually supposed to have already been done with it. I'm 23. I should probably be working on my master's right now, but instead, I'm this one girl that's like flunking classes. GPA is low. Not don't have enough money, and I don't want to take out loans. That's me at 23, still working on my associate, and so because of all of that, it's just so hard to kind of see the positive side of, well, you know what, things are going to change, your circumstances is not going to be the same. And when I was listening to that sermon yesterday, this is exactly what he said. He said, you are more than your circumstances. And I was like, "Ooh, God, what? Come on now, you are hitting. You just hit me right there. You are talking to me." But we are more than our circumstances. And I remember this one time when I first got the message. God said, "Go back to school and also become a CNA." So I'm already a CNA, right? But the school part. I originally went to school at 19 and I ended up dropping out because I was pregnant and I had morning sickness. And honestly, I just really didn't feel like I could do it. So because of that, that made my GPA go low. And those were hours, class hours, that I didn't even finish because I dropped out. So those hours never go away. Those are attempted hours, right? Okay, fast forward when Saint was turning one, when my son turned one, I had a breakdown and I just asked God, like, what is it that you want me to do? Because I feel like a failure. I feel like I've been put on this earth to do what? Nothing. And it's like I'm a failure to my mom, and I wanted to do more for my son. It's like, God, what do you want me to do? And that's when I got that message, because y'all, that was really going to be my last day on that earth. I was really truly going to end my life then. But I got this message. God was like, go to school. Go to school to be a nurse. And I want you to become a CNA. Y'all, I was already a PCA, but I never honestly heard of a CNA, which is really crazy because how? And I never in my life thought about being a nurse. I wanted to be a journalist. So when he told me that, it was really like crazy because I always told people I will never be a nurse. Never. And which is so crazy because, like I said, I was a PCA and I grew up helping my mom. I still help my mom to this day. She has multiple sclerosis. So I was like, okay, cool. I will go to school, right? I'll go to school. I was able to use my financial aid that time, but after that, I did not pass a class, I believe, or 2 classes, and that right there put me on probation, y'all. So because of what my GPA was the first time that I dropped out of school, and since I flunked, that put me on probation, right? So you have to be on probation for like a full year. Okay, so that's another setback, right? And now that I'm on probation, I'm on academic probation. I went to the school again to give it another try. They said I owed them. And now I'm just like, you told me to go to school, but like I don't have money. I didn't have the money for school. I'm just like freaking out at this point. Like, God, what do you really want me to do? Because I don't have the funds. I'm working, but when you have bills and then you have a child, you're a single parent. It's like it's only so much you can really do. I almost literally, y'all. I was like, I was giving up. I was just like, it's no way you want me to do this. I was like, maybe that was just me talking. And then some told me to go up to the job center, the unemployment office, and tell them your situation. So I did that. And tell me why they paid for my school. Yes, they did. They did. They paid for my balance. So after that, I was able to start school. but I had to pay the rest. The other semester, the next semester, it's a lot to it, y'all. I had to pay that out of pocket. And the lady was telling me yesterday that if I still wanted to go to school, I would still have to pay out of pocket if I did not get approved for the appeal. So, I don't know what's gonna happen. I still want to go to school, but I just want you to know that you're not your circumstances, right? You know, we are more than our circumstances. And I'm saying this because I thought I was going to be able to go to school, but yet God, he still made a way. I was still able to get my school paid for, and I'm crying because it's like we don't be believing in ourselves. We don't be believing that God said he can do it. We still be focusing on us, like, or what we can't control. And it's like, God already told you he got it. Why are you still tripping, y'all? Like Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and to not harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. Like, you have to stop tripping, y'all. You have to. Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Yes, Lord. And you know, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. But I don't think that's the original one that I'd be but don't give up. We are not our circumstances. You know, today we might be poor and then tomorrow we might be rich. You know, today you might be dumb and tomorrow you may have wisdom. But whatever the case is, you don't want to give up. And you don't want to box yourself. You don't want to put yourself inside of a box because you lack in something, or this happened to you in your past. I'm a bully victim. So I have something where it's like, I always feel like I'm not good enough, or I can do it, but I don't think I can do it. Like, I don't know. But I always beat myself up because I always like be downplaying myself. And God wants to know, like, why? Like, why? Just because that happened does not mean that you can't get through that door, you know? So just know that you are not your circumstances, and that you are actually more, and that you can do whatever you put in your mind to believe. And also, y'all, faith without work is dead. Faith without work is dead. And don't ever stop praying.